Well, Michael, thank you very much, and you've done a great job, and it's an honor that you're the head of our party in that great state, and Nevada has been very special to me, and we are 41 days away from the most important election in the history of our country. It is really an important election, that I can tell you, because our country is going bad and bad fast. It's a shame what they've done to this country with all of the border problems and 21 million people from parts unknown pouring in. Nobody has any idea where they're from, but many are from jails, many are from mental institutions. But early mail-in voting in your state starts this week, and so if you could, we got to get it done. We got to get everybody and get everybody you know. Some of you may receive your ballots tomorrow. We need you to vote and return those ballots as quickly as possible. And if you don't have your ballot, get one and return it as soon as possible. I'm also asking for you to get at least one other Trump supporter. Ideally, if you get 10, that's even better, but get one or two or whatever you can get, because we have to win this election. If we win Nevada, we're going to win the whole thing. It's going to be very important. Your great governor's on our side, and he's working very hard for us, and we appreciate that. But especially the new voters, we want to see if we can get the newer infrequent voter, which is a lot of them out there, but they're not going to be out there this time because I think they're going to be wanting to vote and wanting to vote very badly. They know the importance of this particular day and this particular vote. With 4 more years of Kamala Harris, Nevada will never, ever be able to recover. Kamala Harris led in 21, just think of this, she led in 21 million, at least, I think much more with the gotaways, million illegal aliens. She let them into our country, and these are people we're going to have to, these are many, many criminals from all over the world, not just in South America. They're coming from Africa, they're coming from the Middle East, they're coming from Asia, they're coming from all over the world, and they're coming from South America. And they're coming from rough countries, and they're coming from rough locations within those countries, like, as I said, the jails and the mental institutions. These are tough people, and they've totally reshaped and recast our country. We can't let it. Now, the tie-breaking vote, she took that on, and she caused a tremendous and brutal inflation, the worst inflation our country's ever had. The typical family had to pay $29,000 because of their incompetence, and it happened because of energy. They let the energy go crazy. Prices went way up, started the inflation, and then they started to overspend on top of that. For $29,000 for each family, she turned Nevada into a dumping ground, and dumping ground for people that other countries didn't want. They brought them in caravans, they brought them in buses, and their crime rates are way down while our crime rates are way up, way up. And that's just what's going on is not even believable by anybody. She supports, as you know, the abolition of ICE. She wants to abolish ICE. These are the greatest patriots, tough, strong people. But without them, you'd never get the criminals out of our country. They work tirelessly, and they love our country, and they want to abolish ICE. There would be nobody to do that job. She also led to fund the police movement for many years. She was one of the originators, and anybody that wants to defund our police, even if they were into that whole policy for literally just for a short period of time, like one day, they should not be qualified to be president. And outlawing private health insurance. Many people have private health insurance and they want it. It's great insurance. They've worked hard to get it. She wants it ended. Taxpayer-funded sex changes for illegal aliens that are in detention centers. She wants, if they say we want a sex change, it's not even believable that I have to be saying this, but that's the way it is. They want sex change. They demand sex change, and those operations have to take place. She'll destroy Medicare and Social Security. As you know, she's loading up the Social Security ranks with people that have just come in, and it's not sustainable. I will leave Social Security as is, and as I have for 4 years. She wants to ban fracking, ban natural gas exports, and she's already done that to a large extent, the largest tax hikes in American history. She wants to give you that. They call her the taxing queen. And she destroyed California very simply, and she totally destroyed the city of San Francisco, one of the greatest cities anywhere in the world. and now it's not even livable. So we can't have her. Now, in terms of Trump, in terms of putting Trump back in, we had the most successful economy in history, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it very quickly. We created hundreds of miles of border wall. We had the best border wall, the best border ever. You know, in 2016, I got elected because of the border, and now we can do it again. But this border is many, many times worse than it was in 2016. I made it the best border in the world. Now it's the worst border ever in history. Hundreds of miles of wall we built. And then when they came in, they didn't want to put up any wall. And they actually sold it for 5 cents on the dollar, the best wall you can buy. It's horrible, designed by the Border Patrol. And by the way, they're great people. But we're going to seal the border, stop the invasion, and begin the largest deportation in American history. We're going to end inflation rapidly because we're going to get energy way down. And we're going to make America affordable again. We're going to make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. I already did that. I took it up, and we were energy independent. Nobody could even believe it, and we were soon going to be energy dominant, and then they came in. Even though we got the most votes in the history of a sitting president, nobody's ever gotten even close. And they came in and they destroyed it. But we'll get it again, and we'll get it going very rapidly. We're going to bring prices down. And by the way, we're going to bring your energy bills down by 50%, 5-0, and within a 12-month period, and it's going to actually be easy to do. You know, I say it all the time. We are standing on more liquid gold than any country in the world. We have more liquid gold, and we're going to use it. And we're going to get your energy prices down by more than 50% in the first 12 months. Mark it down. We're going to make America the dominant energy producer in the world, and that's going to be very quick and very easy. We took it from fourth place to first place in a little bit less than 2 years, and we were heading up until they came in, and then they ruined it all. We're going to stop outsourcing and turn the U.S. into a manufacturing superpower. We have the largest tax cuts for workers. You know, I got you the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. We're going down still further. And very important, especially for Nevada, no tax on tips. Also, no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. And also, and this is big for Nevada, no tax on overtime. If you work overtime, you're not going to be taxed. We're going to have no tax on overtime, which is going to be a big incentive. And the no tax on Social Security for our seniors is a tremendous thing. But don't forget, our seniors have been decimated by their world record-setting inflation. So we have no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors and no tax on tips. Those three things are tremendous. Look, we will do something else that maybe is more important than everything, and we just don't know it yet. I will prevent World War III from happening. We've never been so close. We had peace through strength. We defeated ISIS, but we had no wars for 4 years. First time in 78 years that's happened, and it was under this administration, and we had the best border in the history of our country. I will not send nuclear waste to Yucca Mountain. It will not be sent to Yucca Mountain. Just remember that. And we will open up portions of federal land for large-scale housing construction so that you'll be able to buy a nice house at the proper price. We're going to crush violent crime and support our police, always supporting our police who are terrific, strengthen and modernize our military. And by the way, when we talk about the police, I've been endorsed by virtually every police group in the United States of America. She's been endorsed, I believe, by none. We're going to cancel the ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, and we're going to cut regulations at a level never seen before, except for my 4 years where we broke every record in cutting regulations. And we're going to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory and radical gender ideology. And also we're going to keep men out of women's sports, and that's a real easy one. So I just want to thank you. I've had a tremendous relationship with Nevada. We have investments there, you know, the big Trump building, wonderful hotel. We've had just a fantastic relationship with the state for many years, and it's just a great place. And I want to thank Michael and everybody for doing such a a tremendous job. We're leading in the polls. We're leading the polls with Nevada, and we're leading everywhere. We just had a Daily Mail poll. It just came out a little while ago where we're up by 10. We cannot have a Marxist as our president. She's a Marxist, and her ideology, if she even knows what ideology is Marxist, and we can't allow that to happen. Our country is in big trouble. We have to have strong borders, low taxes, strong military, school choice. We'll be moving our educational process back to Washington, from Washington back into the states. We have right now on education, they spend more than any other country per pupil, and yet we're at the bottom of the list. So we're going to let the states run education, the individual states, and many of those states will run education as well as anybody in the world, and I believe that Nevada is one of them. So I just want to thank everybody, and remember, send in the ballot right away. Make sure it's counted, and whatever I can do, you're going to let me know. We are going to make America greater than ever before. We've got to start now. We're not going to have a second chance at this because our country's in big trouble, and we're going to make it just something that you dreamed about. It's going to be the most important election in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast, and we're never going to get a second shot at it because it'll be too far gone. So thank you all very much, and Michael, I'll return it back to you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, as you've all heard, you've seen his actions. You know what he's capable of, and I can tell you that he means everything. For all of you that I've had the privilege to speak in front of, you notice I don't ever talk in a teleprompter. I don't have notes. It's easy to talk about this man because I've been with him in private settings where he does things not for the camera because it's the right thing. He's helped out working men and women off camera because it's the right thing to do. He's been there for the police officers, not because the camera's there, because it's the right thing to do. He loves us law enforcement. I can say that wholehearted with respect. I'm still in law enforcement. The most important thing is he cares about each and every one of you in Nevada.